We're here today with Michelle Williams and Sean McCraith while they interview Bill Lee, head of the Gallup Balloon Rally and CEO for the Chamber of Commerce.
Hi guys.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How was your day?
Great.
Okay, so we wanted to ask you a couple questions about the balloon rally.
I'll do my best to answer them.
How long have you been helping put together the balloon rally, and is it something you really enjoy?
Oh boy, I have been affiliated with the Balloon Rally for about 25 years now, out of the 37.
Long time.
Yeah, and you know, it's a passion of mine. Not only flying hot air balloons, but the rally itself, because it does so many good things for our community. You know, brings in lots of visitors.
What are some examples of the good things?
Well, it brings in lots of visitors, which of course helps stimulate the economy while they're here. They're buying hotel rooms and, you know, eating in our restaurants and filling up their gas tanks at our gas stations, that sort of thing. So it's good for the economy in that regard. It's also, I think, kind of a special event. We kind of have an unknown saying about the balloon rally. It's hard to look down on Gallup when you're looking up. And so I think it is one of those things that's just kind of a magical experience, whether you're flying in the balloon or simply watching them. It makes you feel good to see hot air balloons in the sky. It's just a fun event and is good for kind of bringing about a positive feeling for us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What do you feel the balloon rally represents for Gallup?
Sean, I think that the balloon rally represents a long-standing event that highlights and showcases a couple of things that are important to tourism in our area. Outdoor adventure, you know, we have lots of hiking and biking trails. We have incredible beauty all around us. The Red Rocks are some of that. And so it gets to showcase that outdoor adventure, and it gets to bring in people who might not ordinarily make Gallup a stop. And so we think that's all positive for our community.
Right. Yeah, thank you for answering the question.
Yeah.
Over the past couple of years, do you think the balloon rally has expanded and gotten better?
So in terms of expansion, you know, we had the most balloons we've ever had here was 200, and that was in the year 2000. And so we have hovered around that number on and off since 2000 for the last 17 years. We did that as a millennial thing, or a millennium thing, and so we try to keep the balloon rally somewhere between 150 to 200 balloons each year. That's harder and harder to do each year. Ballooning is a sport where unfortunately we're not seeing as many young people get involved and enthused about it as we would like. We are always open to that opportunity. In fact, I'm teaching a student right now who's one of the teachers at the high school. And she's learning to fly, and I'm glad she is. She's a younger person, and it's always good to bring younger people into the sport. But so getting balloonists here is not our primary focus. Our primary focus is more about putting on a quality event versus the number of balloons that come, and making sure that we are marketing to those individuals who would be interested in coming to a balloon rally, and reaching out to them to expand the tourism base more than the balloon base. So more balloons doesn't necessarily make a better balloon rally. It's nice to have a lot of balloons, but we also want to have a lot of visitors who come in, take in the event. So we think that's just as important. We are expanding in terms of that. We have seen an increase in our visitors over the last few years. We've done a lot of outreach and marketing, not only through video advertising on your traditional mediums like television, but also radio, and then we've utilized social media channels to really target those visitors and those tourists to come to the event. So we are expanding in that way. Last year's Saturday Night Balloon Glow, I think we estimated we had somewhere between 6,000 and 8,000 people at the Rio West Mall who watched that balloon glow. So that's a lot of people coming in to see a great event. And we want to see that continue to grow as opposed to growing the number of balloons that come. Because the number of balloons that come, whether it's 50 in the Red Rocks or whether it's 150 in the Red Rocks, it's always spectacular. We've become kind of a balloonist paradise here. People realize how good the flying is at Red Rock. It's one of the most scenic places you can fly. It's a great place to fly balloons because the wind currents in and out of the canyons allow us to steer the balloon in ways that you don't often get to steer it. And you combine that with the scenic backdrop of the Red Rocks, and it's unbelievable. Each year we do not only the Red Rock Balloon Rally, but following the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, we do an event here the Monday after Balloon Fiesta ends. And we do that because there are a lot of people traveling back to California with their balloons or back west, and even folks who are headed back to the East Coast because they are so close and have heard so many good things about the Red Rock Balloon Rally, they want to come and fly here. So we started doing a small, kind of unorganized event about, I guess, 12 years ago, inviting people after Fiesta to come and fly the Monday after. And I think the first year we had something like 12 balloons. This year we had 41. So it's growing and kind of feeding on itself, and it's a lot of fun. And then in the summer we do another balloon rally for the Freedom Ride, Flight, and Cruise, and last year we had over 40 balloons here then. So even just those 40 balloons in the Red Rocks is a sight to see and pretty spectacular, and something that I think all visitors would love to see. We're also expanding the event from a vendor standpoint. We are seeing more vendors who are interested in coming and setting up their goods for sale at the Red Rock Balloon Rally, the mornings that we fly. And so, yes, we are growing, but maybe not in the way that people would think we would be growing. We're growing from a spectator standpoint, which is probably more valuable than growing from a balloon standpoint.
What are the steps it takes to plan something this big?
Well, I can tell you that as soon as the Red Rock Balloon Rally ended last year, we started planning this year. So it takes a lot to put this together. There are a lot of things that have to be organized. The Red Rock Balloon Rally is a little bit different than a lot of balloon rallies across the country. You have to have an invitation to come here. We're very selective about the pilots we invite. In order to get an invitation, you either have to know one of the organizers like myself or Peter Procopio or Tom Robinson or Bill No. And if you know one of those people and they can vouch for your safety and the way that you fly, we can get you an invitation. The other way is if you know somebody who has already been invited, to get them to recommend you. So we have this close-knit family of people who get invited. So we have to organize the invitations, and that invitation list a lot of it stays the same, but there are new people who come and people who go, and so we have to organize that new invitation list. That's a big piece of what we do. Then we have to make sure that everybody has all of the proper insurance on their balloons. So we verify the pilot's insurance, we verify that they have complied with the FAA requirements of having a biennial flight review. We make sure that they have current annual inspection of their aircraft so that it's safe as well, because safety is our number one concern. So we go through all of that process, verifying insurance and inspections and flight reviews. All of that gets done. Then we of course have to organize places for these folks to stay when they come. So we have to organize hotel rooms for each and every pilot. We also have to make sure that the Red Rock Balloon Rally field is set. And we have a great group of individuals and volunteers who do that. Our launch directors who play a big part in the Red Rock Balloon Rally every year. They go out and literally put tires down and mark out launch squares for each of the balloons that will be participating. And then they take an active role in making sure that each launch is successful and safe. And so there is a lot to get organized. We have to organize the sponsors. We have to get sponsors in. We have to, print boarding passes. We have to do all kinds of things. So it's a long process and one that usually takes about a year to put together. Now, I will be honest and tell you we don't meet every month leading up to the Red Rock Balloon Rally. After the balloon rally is done, we usually take about a month off. We have a debrief session. We talk about the event, what went well, what didn't go well, that kind of thing. And then we don't meet for a little bit of time after that. Then usually around July, we start meeting on a monthly basis and start really hammering out the details and getting things done.
Okay. What else is there at the balloon rally besides just the balloons and concession? Because I've never been to one myself.
Well, shame on you. You have to go this year. So the balloon rally, we have a number of events. First of all, we have the 3 mass ascensions on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning. Those are pretty typical. Friday morning and Saturday morning, we have races involved with the balloons during the mass ascensions. That means we don't get them out and put them side by side and race them down a canyon. Our balloon race is much different. So we'll put targets out on the ground, a big X on the ground, and balloonists have to try and navigate to that X using the winds that are available. And then they have a bean bag that they drop from the basket as close to the center as possible of that X. Person who's the closest wins beautiful prizes. We give away wonderful Native American art prizes. Everything from Navajo rugs to pottery and sculptures to incredible jewelry that we are all known for here in this area. So our prizes are very much valued and people love to compete for them. So we have those. In addition to that, we have 2 balloon glows. So the balloon glow is where we stand the balloon up at night. We can't fly at night, but we can stand the balloon up, and when we light the burners up with the balloon over the top of it, it looks like a big Japanese lantern, and so it glows. We call it a balloon glow. On Friday night, we do that balloon glow at Red Rock Park, and we do that in a different fashion than other balloon rallies. Not only do we have the balloons glowing, but then we have Native American dancers by a bonfire who dance. And so last year I think we had the Apache Crown Dancers. I think they're coming back this year. So the Crown Dancers are dancing around the bonfire, and we have the big balloon glow, and it's quite a sight to see. Saturday night we do another balloon glow, and that's done at Rio West Mall in the big parking lot, and that's always a big crowd as well. In addition to that, there are a number of events around town that take place during the balloon rally, and people have always come to us and said, well, can we do this the same weekend as the balloon rally? And we've always said, sure, but we're a very small group of volunteers, and so when we say, yes, you can, but you're going to have to organize it and put it on yourself. We've got a balloon rally to run. And so a lot of things have popped up over the years. There's an incredible arts and crafts fair that takes place during the Red Rock Balloon Rally. The Chamber of Commerce helps to organize and put on the Christmas parade during the Red Rock Balloon Rally, and the balloonists participate in that as well. They'll put their baskets and burners in the back of their pickups and sometimes light the burners and decorate their trucks. They have a big time doing it. So there's a lot going on that weekend. Excuse me.
Very busy.
Yes, it is. Very busy. It's a great weekend.
While hosting this event, who are the main focus groups?
I'm not sure I'm following what you mean in terms of...
You target for customers?
We are a family-friendly event, and so that's who we are really after. The Red Rock Balloon Rally is one of those events that doesn't charge you anything to attend. So Red Rock Park, when you go to Red Rock Park, it's a $5 parking fee, but we don't collect that ourselves. That goes to the city park to keep up Red Rock Park, to make sure it is maintained well and that sort of thing. But we don't collect any of that money. The cost, there is no admission fee for any of our events, whether it's the Mass Ascensions or the Balloon Glows. You get to come for free, bring your family. You can walk right up to the balloons, talk with the pilots and their crews, see how they work. And so it's very much a family-friendly event all weekend long.
Last question. Have you been in a higher balloon yourself?
Oh yeah, I fly one.
How was it?
it's incredible. It's the best way to fly as long as you don't care where you're going or how long it takes to get there. Flying in a hot air balloon is an amazing experience. I've been blessed throughout my life to have flown in lots of things. I've strapped into a fighter jet, I've flown with stunt teams, I've wing walked on a Stearman biplane, and by far and away, my favorite way to fly is in a hot air balloon.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. It's great to see you guys. Thanks for coming. I hope you come to the Red Rock Balloon Rally and enjoy it this year, okay?
All right. See
All
you
right.
there.